Can you actually build a strong, functional body with military-style calisthenics? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes, but only if you train like the military actually does. Most people hear military calisthenics and think endless push-ups, random runs, and pain for no reason. That's why they quit. Because real military training isn't about suffering, it's about preparation. Today, I'll break down how soldiers really use calisthenics to build strength, endurance, and mental toughness without wasting time. Here's the mistake. People copy the volume, but ignore the system. They do 200 push-ups, 300 squats, random pull-ups, and wonder why they feel exhausted but not stronger. The military doesn't train randomly. They train with intent. Every exercise has a purpose. Every session has a goal. Military calisthenics focuses on total body strength, not isolation. Push-ups aren't just chest. They train shoulders, triceps, core, scapular control. Pull-ups aren't just back. They train grip, posture, breathing under load. Squats aren't for legs only. They build work capacity, joint resilience, mental endurance. The goal isn't max strength. The goal is usable strength when you're already tired. No machines. No mirrors. No excuses. Progression in military calisthenics comes from stricter form, slower tempo, shorter rest, harder variations. Push-ups become regular to decline to tempo to explosive. Pull-ups become dead hang to controlled to pauses to weighted pack. Running becomes steady to intervals to loaded runs. The body adapts because the stress increases gradually. That's real overload. Here's where most gym programs fail. Military calisthenics doesn't separate strength day and cardio day. Everything is conditioned strength. You don't rest until you feel ready. You rest until you're allowed. That's how soldiers can move fast under load, think clearly while exhausted, stay calm when the heart rate is high. Your body learns one thing: perform anyway. Here's something most people don't want to hear. The military doesn't care about motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days it shows up, most days it doesn't. That's why soldiers don't train based on how they feel. They train based on orders, structure, and routine. When training depends on motivation, you skip sessions, you shorten workouts, you negotiate with yourself. Military calisthenics removes negotiation entirely. You train because it's scheduled, not because you're excited, not because you're inspired, but because it's what's next. And that's where real progress starts. Military calisthenics isn't exciting, and that's the point. The goal isn't entertainment. The goal is reliability. Doing perfect push-ups even when they feel boring, holding a plank even when nothing dramatic is happening, repeating the same run even when progress feels slow. That's how mental toughness is built. Not through extreme workouts, but through repetition without emotion. Military calisthenics isn't exciting, and that's the point. The goal isn't entertainment. The goal is reliability. Doing perfect push-ups even when they feel boring, holding a plank even when nothing dramatic is happening, repeating the same run even when progress feels slow. That's how mental toughness is built. Not through extreme workouts, but through repetition without emotion. Here's what this creates. When your heart rate spikes, you don't panic. When your muscles burn, you don't rush. When fatigue hits, you stay calm,
and execute. Military calisthenics teaches your nervous system one thing: stress is normal. You don't react to it, you work through it. That carries over everywhere: work, life, pressure situations.
Another key difference. Military training has no ego, no mirrors, no chasing pump, no proving anything. Reps are clean or they don't count. If form breaks, the set ends. This teaches humility, it teaches control, it teaches patience, and patience builds real strength. Here's the loop. You show up on schedule. You train with control. You finish without drama. That builds confidence. Not hype confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that shows up again tomorrow.
You don't need a drill sergeant. You need rules. Set a training time and protect it. Write the workout and don't improvise. Finish the session, even if it's average, especially if it's average. That's military discipline applied to real life.
Military calisthenics doesn't turn you into a superhero. It turns you into something better. Someone reliable, someone capable, someone who performs under pressure. No motivation, no excuses, just work. That's the difference.